What's up, people? It's your boy Slack. In this video, I'm going to talk about the sexual services in Vancouver, as well as Canada in general. So many of you guys do know that prostitution is legal in Canada, and many people like those services. you know so when I was there, i I passed some of these massage places, right? Some places where you go for massages, some of them will actually offer, additional services. So I went to one of them, and they did. They didn't, offer if I wanted more. But I said no, I'm good. I said I'm not interested. So I didn't pay for sex, but they gave me a very good massage. I'll tell you that. So it's one of those things where if you are sexually frustrated, you can easily just walk into um, you can just walk into a massage parlor, or you can go to like these other they have other terms for them too. So you can just walk in, pay a little stuff, and you go your way. So that's part of the reason why I say this is better for guys who want to do this type of stuff. Because sometimes when you just come home from work, you just want someone that will just, give you sex with no issue, Sometimes some guys just want it, you know? So when I was in downtown Vancouver, I was at this shopping complex in what was it called? I think it's Kingsway. I think it was Kingsway. I was there. That was the name of the street. So I was in the shop. I was in the shopping complex. They had a Subway. They had an Asian restaurant, and they had some other things, right? Then at the corner, they had this massage place. So I was there, right? I walked in to see what they were offering. So they were busy, right? So by the time I was waiting outside, I was talking to this other guy. He was telling me about it, some young guy, and before you know it, man, it was like I saw these other people. I saw I think I saw two guys walk in, but they were busy, so they left. One time I saw four guys walk into that building, but they said they're all busy, so they walked out, so they left. So by the time I can't say how long. I don't remember. I think it's about maybe like an hour later on estimate. Like an hour later, I saw a lot of people leave that. I saw one old guy. He left. He left the place. I saw many young people who were leaving, and it was like they did what they wanted to do. They got what they wanted, and they just left as if it was normal. They left as if it was normal. There was no issue. Like no one is really judging them. No one's looking at them cross-eyed, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's none of that stuff. So you just go and do your thing. You walk out. You know. So that was why I say like it's so much easier. That's why I say it's so much easier to do that stuff here. I mean, not here, but it's easier to do that stuff in Canada. It's legal, and you can just chill and you can just go your way. In the United States, prostitution is illegal apart from Nevada. Okay, every other state in the U.S. is illegal. It's illegal. So some of these places in the U.S. they do offer additional services, but if they catch you, you can be charged with prostitution, and that shit goes on your fucking record. So I mean, if you guys go on Google or you read the news, almost every week, at least one person in the U.S. is being arrested for soliciting prostitution. And that's one charge you don't want on your record. Even though it's just a misdemeanor, it makes you look, it makes them, it can have a negative impact when it comes to employers and stuff. So that's just one of those things. And in Seattle, a lot of girls sell their bodies for money. A lot of them, they sell their bodies for money. And I live pretty much close to a street where prostitution is very popular. And it's very risky to talk to those girls because some of these girls have like pimps, some have boyfriends, so you don't know what could happen. Some can come and rob you and everything. In some cases, those females can be undercover cops. So if you start talking to a girl and you start discussing money, you can actually get arrested for that shit because some of those cops are undercover, and if they hear you agreeing to a price for sex, like if the undercover cop says to you, "Do you want to go somewhere? It'll cost you $60 or $80." The moment you say yes, that's it. They got you. They got you right there and then. That's it. And that's what happens. And that's why many guys, they go to jail because sometimes you can say yes, but you don't actually mean it. But if it's an undercover cop, it doesn't matter if you meant it or not. If they have you on tape saying it, they got you. And that shit goes on your record. And people need to understand like how that shit really works. Because a lot of times, if you're caught soliciting prostitution, that shit goes on the fucking internet. In your local county and shit. So if an employer, if you apply for another job in the future and they see that shit, they're not gonna hire you. In fact, your town will even look down on you, you know? But like I said, that's why in Canada, I think it was better because when I was there, it's legal and people just walk in, walk out. People aren't staring at them like, oh my God, you enter that place. It's like, okay, you know, it's like, oh, go do your thing, you know? So that's the thing. That's the way it goes out here, man. In the United States, in my personal opinion, they're not going to legalize prostitution anytime soon because I think society already knows if they legalized it, it would lead to a huge decline in relationships. It would lead to a huge decline in a relationship. I think that's why the government won't legalize it. In the United States today, we have a huge marriage decline. Marriage has been on a decline for a while. Plus, you have many men who have refused to enter into our relationships nowadays. So it's like it really hurts the women. You know, it hurts the females a lot. So you have to understand why these are, because it's not always about the law, because the US and Canada are more like a brothers. There are some laws that are passed in the US that may encourage other Canadians to pass such laws and vice versa. You know? In Canada, prostitution is legal. In Mexico, prostitution is legal. but in the United States, it's not legal. So you can imagine if you lived in California, you want to have have some fun. You you can just cross the border to Tijuana, come back, and do your thing. You know. So that's just the way it is, and I think the U.S. can learn from Canada because if they legalized it, there will be no more pimps. There'll be no more girls. There would be no more girls offering to sell their bodies for money. You know, but hey, they'll figure it out. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm just saying that overall, I'm just saying that when I was in Vancouver, a lot of people, a lot of women offer their bodies for money, and a lot of guys use it, and it's convenient for them, you know? So, let me know what you think. Peace.